The Vikings are probably best known for being jerks to monks, letting Minnesota down every year and splashing around Europe in their sick boats, but people still wonder why they left the warmth of IKEA and the comfort of Lutefisk to desecrate monasteries and settle cold rocks. Here's some theories. One of the most commonly cited reasons for the Norse exodus from Scandinavia is overpopulation. The theory goes that since there wasn't enough farmland to support the booming population of Scandinavia, many people decided that starving just wasn't their cup of tea and left the region to take other people's food and stuff. However, this theory doesn't really hold weight, because smart people in lab coats have decided that Scandinavia actually experienced a population boom during the Viking Age rather than preceding it, so overpopulation may have been more of a product of the Viking Age rather than a causation. Where are the ladies at? Oh, I see. Back in their pagan days, the people of Scandinavia may or may not have dabbled in female infanticide, which for you kids at home means literally killing babies. That are girls. Female infants, in fact. This self-induced sausage party had the negative side effect of creating a situation where many Scandinavian men were unable to find girlfriends and were therefore inclined to do stupid things to get one. Example given. Bjorn raids a town, kills 7 people, and then uses all their money to convince Helga that he'd be a good husband. Actually, I don't know, maybe I should try that. Another issue with having all these dudes around was inheritance. Viking custom was to give the eldest son everything and leave the younger sons with nothing. This encouraged everyone's little brother to leave home and seek wealth elsewhere. Alright, Sven, it looks like your father left you his farm, ship, sword, armor, sheep, and a house. And Olaf, it looks like you were left 7 rolls of toilet... Nope, actually Sven gets that too. As the Viking Age was getting underway, Scandinavia was starting to become increasingly centralized, which meant that a ton of local chiefs were being given the boot by more powerful local lords. Obviously, these big scary dudes who were used to giving orders weren't particularly fond of being bossed around by bigger, scarier dudes, so they'd often just pack up and go settle somewhere else. Not all people who left to found new colonies or sack disease-ridden peasants were politically motivated, though. There were strong social factors for raiding as well. A young man would often go out on raids early on in his life to gain knowledge and status that he could later use to flex on his friends. These social factors were possibly further compounded by Viking religion, which rewarded brave deeds and death in combat, as well as prophesizing an unavoidable world-ending catastrophe that would probably make a good movie title someday. This created a sense of, well, I might as well go raid cause Odin will like me and we're all gonna die anyway, that may have led some Norse to leave. At the dawn of the Viking Age, Charlemagne's empire was rapidly collapsing, the Byzantines were fighting the Arabs, and the rest of Europe was split between weak, squabbling kingdoms. This provided a perfect opportunity for the Vikings to pick off towns and villages without fear of counterattacks. In fact, the only uniting factor that most of Western Europe had was religion, so churches and monasteries were off limits in European warfare. This meant that inside their weak enemies' borders, the Vikings also got to take advantage of fancy, undefended houses literally filled with gold. Stop right there, heathen! You are not allowed to sack this sacred place! Why? Because God. Oh man, I really thought that would work! So why did the Vikings leave Scandinavia? Maybe there really were just too many people. Maybe the mainland was just too tempting of a target. Maybe some talking elephants came to a dude in a dream and told him to sail west. Point is, we don't know. This is why you write stuff down.